season. I think he's going to go over 1,000 yards. I think if he gets support from people around him, he could get over 1,200. I think he's a future superstar in this league, but it's up to other people to give him a hand. And at number 2, you've got Joe Juravicius, guy who spent a year up here in Seattle, was big for us. So I'd like to see him do well, see if he can put together maybe his first, I know it's a long shot, first career 1,000-yard season. You know, just a great guy, good hands, can make clutch plays, and future superstar, actually, I should say current superstar, because he played really well last year in a terrible offense. I'm going to come out and say it, Kellen Winslow Jr. I know you're an idiot, but I like you all the same. I like these Miami-bred players. Last year, almost had 900 yards, great for a tight end. Keep an eye on this guy. I think he's the next superstar in the NFL. And Braylon Edwards and Kellen Winslow catching balls in Cleveland. That's a nice combination. I really like where they're going with that. Then you obviously have like Joe Thomas, Eric Steinbach. What that offensive line is going to be able to do. Still without LaCharles Bentley, unfortunately. But we're going to keep an eye on that offense. Next up, I'm going to say the Denver Broncos offense, because for years now, of course, they've been able to plug any running back into their system and get 1,000 yards, always have a consistent running game. They've been able to do it real well, and I'm wondering if they can keep that up one more year. They've got problems at tackles. A couple of very old people. Tom Nalen, I think, is getting pretty old. Matt Lepsis. They just traded George Foster, although I don't think that's big of a loss. Rod Smith in possibly the last year of his career, so we're going to keep an eye on him because he should be able to break. I think he should be able to break 12,000 career rushing yards, which is a nice milestone. Could get about 75 career touchdowns. Should pass 900 career receptions. That's just short of the standards I think Canton would have if they give him, say, a little bit of bonus attention for being an undrafted free agent to come in and have that kind of a career. Maybe he can get in, but I just hope he can put up some good, decent numbers this year, make a final case for a Hall of Fame induction. And then you've got on the other side, Javon Walker. I've liked this guy since he was drafted. I think he can mount a Hall of Fame career if he's given the opportunity. Showed Hall of Fame potential in Green Bay in 2004. Got hurt. Wasn't very good before then, although I guess his 2003 was reasonably solid. And last year overcame a rough quarterback situation to have 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. I think this guy's a stud. I like him a lot. I think Denver made a great decision to trade for him. And I hope he can get started what's going to be a fantastic career in Denver. And also I'm going to throw in Brandon Marshall here because they think he's the future at number 2 wide receiver after Rod Smith leaves. He reminds me of Terrell Owens, to be honest, with his ability to get yards after the catch. Last year, 20 catches, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see where he goes. Potential old target for Jay Cutler. And real quick, I just want to comment on the running back tandem of Travis Henry and Mike Bell. I like Travis Henry. I think Buffalo gave up on him for no good reason. And Mike Bell had a good rookie year last year. Nobody seemed to pay attention to him, but he had a good rookie year. So we're going to keep an eye on that running game. And also, I want to make a quick comment about the defense. I'm just going to say real quick that Champ Bailey is the undisputed best cornerback in the league as far as I'm concerned. You can try and debate it. I just don't think there's a case to be made for any other cornerback in this league. And now you've got Dre Bly, perhaps the best pure man-to-man cover corner in this league. This is quite possibly the best cornerback tandem I have ever seen. One of the best of all time. This has great potential to be something special. And to think they got it all for Clinton Portis, because if you'll remember, they traded Clinton Portis, a second-rounder, who was overrated in the Denver offensive scheme, for Champ Bailey and a second-rounder They used the second rounder on Tatum Bell, and now they've gone and traded Tatum Bell, George Foster, and a couple of second-day picks for Dre Bly. So they've assembled a incredibly good cornerback tandem using just a second rounder and a right tackle they didn't particularly like and a couple of late picks. So that's what I'm talking about. I love the way Denver runs their organization, and that's just the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Okay, next up, the New York Jets back eight. That would be all the defensive players except the three on the line, the three defensive linemen. Okay, Jonathan Vilma, one of my favorite players in the league, young, up and coming. I've liked this guy since the day he was drafted in 2004 by the Jets. Had a fantastic rookie season. In his 3-year career, he's mounted 389 tackles, 5 picks, 2.5 sacks. Just a great player. From Miami. I like that school, especially their linebacker talent. I just hope that this year he can get back to playmaking form, because in the last 2 years he's only had half a sack and 2 picks. Isn't going to cut it. Needs to start making more plays. I know he's not cut out for the 3-4. It doesn't quite fit in the Eric Mangini scheme, but he's a good player who can overcome it. And I want to see him get back to playmaking form in 2007. Maybe he can be hopefully he can be the next Ray Lewis. Another guy in this backfield I want to keep an eye on is Kerry Rhodes. Had a fantastic rookie season. Second season last year, sophomore season. 5 sacks, 4 picks, 3 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, 98 tackles. Was probably the best player on the Jets defense last year. I think he should have made the Pro Bowl, at least been a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Because to me, there's no greater asset in the NFL than a defensive player who can get you sacks, tackles, and interceptions. If they can do it all, that's extremely valuable. That's why I like Ray Lewis. Anyway, if this guy can mount another season where he gets multiple sacks and multiple interceptions, we're going to have to start looking at him as a serious candidate for the 2020 club. Speaking of which, I just want to throw in a quick comment about Brian Dawkins, who needs just 2 sacks this year to enter the 2020 club. I'll be watching out for that. Good luck, Dawkins. Hope to see you in the 2020 club. That's got to be my favorite club in the NFL. Okay, next up, I'm going to say the Washington Redskins cornerback tandem. Obviously, at one spot, you've got number 21, Sean Taylor. He doesn't get it. He's an idiot, punk, whatever. But he's a great player. He's got an incredible level of potential. He's got the size of a linebacker and the speed of a cornerback. If you go into Madden and you create a player that has 99 of everything, you know how you can do that, and you'll just fool around with that player. That's Sean Taylor is pretty much what you get. He's the prototypical safety. 7 career picks, 2 sacks, 7 forced fumbles. He does everything you could want from a safety except stay out of trouble. But that's besides the point. Great potential, just needs to realize it, play some smarter football, can be a stud. And then on the other side, you've got LaRon Landry, rookie. But in college, he showed me the same qualities that Sean Taylor did. He can play up at the line. He